Hey everyone, this is Next Archer, and as I've been trying to do lately, I've been trying to get kind of different knives, kind of with things that I don't normally do. So, this knife review, or overview, because I haven't really tested this knife, will be a little different. This is going to be about a Blackwater knife. I don't, from what I have heard, the knives have actually not been released yet. If you want to know the story about how I got this knife or was given this knife, that's actually a different video, which I'll link below. So it comes in a cardboard box with the Blackwater logos all over it, and with this sleeve. So I'll show the knife right now. And this is the URSA 6. It's a purely, it was purely made as a tactical knife. So, let's keep that in mind while doing this review. Which, putting this in its sheath, was one of the things I'm actually going to say one of the negatives. So I'll talk about one thing that's kind of interesting. I believe these knives do have a lifetime warranty, the Blackwater knives. But from another person's video, not sure if this is actually true, I had heard that there is an optional insurance that you can get. That is for if you lose the knife, or if it is stolen. I haven't really looked into what that specifically is, but you may want to if you're planning on buying one of the Blackwater knives. So, let's talk about the knife itself, and I will put some information down below when I find out if the insurance thing, what it specifically is, and that kind of stuff. Because these are not exactly cheap knives. I believe this one, it retails for $260. So, that's just, there you go. So let's show the knife itself, and then I'll talk about its sheath. Okay. The blade is, let's see, I believe it was 6 inches long, well, 5.95 inches long. The overall length is 11.38 inches long, and blade thickness is 0.24. So it is a very thick blade. The weight on this was 11.10 ounces. So it's not exactly a light knife, but that is simply because of how thick this is. And that actually does go all the way to the tip. The thickness does. The shape of it is a kind of spear point style, and it is it feels almost like a flat grind. Could be wrong, but I believe that is a flat grind on the blade with a unsharpened false edge, but does have serrations on top, which are sharpened. The blade steel is Niolox tool steel, which I know absolutely nothing about. From the small amount of research I have done, it looks like it is a high quality steel that's not very commonly used on knives. Very sharp out of the box. As you can see, the edge is very nice, and it does have a black coating on the knife. What type of coating it is, a PVD coated. So, and that is completely coated, full tang. On the tang of the knife, it actually says Lion Steel, made in Italy. So it is made by Lion Steel, designed by Blackwater knives, which DPX gear and Blackwater knives both have their knives made by Lion Steel. The finish on this knife is very nice. I can actually not find any problems with the knife's fit and finish. One thing I found actually interesting was from the grind. When they actually ground this, I believe they had put the coating on first, and after they ground it, you could actually still find the this coating slightly on the blade from where the excess had come off from the edge, which I found very neat. But kind of makes me think they didn't wipe it off or something, but I found it kind of interesting. No places where I can see an edge that are misshapen, or no chipping of the PVD coating. The handle is actually G10, two very large slabs of G10. The top are peel-ply, but then they are contoured with finger grooves that fit perfectly in the hand, making it very, very comfortable. And as you can see, right on top of the thumb ramp, it does have some jimping that is also wire strippers. Also, while talking about that area of the blade, you can see these 2 points, which are actually considered lashing points to be able to turn this knife into a spear. The handles are pretty grippy, but are very nicely contoured, no sharp edges, but still will grip onto your hands very well. And I love those little finger grooves, how smooth they are in them, as it just makes a very comfortable ergonomic grip. They are hollowed out handles. Apparently the steel or the blade inside is skeletonized for emergency storage of survival items, apparently. So, I don't know really about that. I doubt it takes too much strength away from the handle. The butt of the knife right here is can be used as a prybar, a striking pommel, or there's a lanyard hole right there. Can also be used as a bottle opener. So, there's the knife. And let's talk about the sheath. So, it is actually a right-handed carry sheath, as if you try to put the knife in the other direction, it will actually not fit in there at all. You'll see some of the blade will be sticking out, and it will just not fit. So, it's for the right side of the body, and if you try to put it in the left side, it will actually get stuck in the sheath. So, don't want that to happen. It does have a little compartment right here that is Velcro, where you can fit sharpening supplies, it says, but will also store a nicely sized folding knife. Anything from this size, which is the Hogue EX01, can fit flashlights, basically anything you want. Here's Microtech, Ultratech, fits there perfectly. So, you can fit a lot of stuff in there, whatever you really want. It is a CORDURA sheath with plenty of lashing points. As you can see, very nice belt area. You can put it on your belt and then lash it to your leg so that it does not move around. Will also fit on Molly gear. So, lots of points to connect it. And now here is the slight negative thing that I have found that I dislike about this knife. And that would be when putting it in and out of the sheath. So the sheath is very well designed, except for this right here. So when you pull it out of the sheath, the blade comes in direct contact with this little flap, causing it to actually cut here and slightly dull the blade when you're pulling it out. That is the one downside I have found with this sheath, is the fact that it does start tearing up that little flap. Hopefully in a future model they'll fix that, which I believe they will. As that is just a secondary thing with this knife. It does have very good retention. As you can see, there's no like shaking sound. It doesn't rattle at all in its sheath, which is a very important thing, especially at this high dollar price. Trying to remember if I'm forgetting anything. I'll read over this real quick. G10 handles, wire stripper, the serrations on the back of the blade. I believe I have everything. If I didn't already say this, it is a $260 fixed blade. So you have to keep that into consideration when thinking about this knife. I don't know much about the Niolox tool steel either, so I'll have to do a little more research into this before doing my full review, as I have not tested this knife. This is just an overview and saying my thoughts about it. More of a first impressions. So far, I love the knife. Probably the most comfortable fixed blade I've held in my hands. At least the most comfortable production fixed blade. Although there are custom fixed blades you can get in this price range for $260. But then again, I am still wondering about what I had said in the beginning of the video, what exactly the insurance thing is. So I'm going to do some research into that. I might make a video about just that. I'll email them and ask them details for that. So these are also connected. I forgot, the handles are connected using flathead screws. So if you're needing to get into the handles. It is a little top heavy, the knife is, but it is almost very well balanced. It's just a little top heavy, which will actually be a little better for this type of fixed blade. The balance point is right about here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know what you think about this knife. If you know anything about the Niolox tool steel, or the Niolox tool steel is hardened at 59 Rockwell hardness. So one thing I completely forgot, this is an American made knife. Or no, it's not. It's Italian made. It's made in Italy. It's an American based company though, Blackwater is. Okay, so I will see you guys later, and enjoy.